But now to the Philippines and the plight of crusading journalist Maria Ressa. Last year we told you how she and her news website Rappler, which has 14 million unique visitors a month, were being pursued for exposing unlawful killings by the Duterte government. And we showed you this famous warning from the now president back in 2016.
Just because you are a journalist, you are not exempted from assassination if you are a son of a bitch.
Maria Ressa is still very much alive and kicking, but sad to say, things are not going well for her.
In a blow to media freedom in the country, a jury found her guilty of libel over a 2012 article that linked a businessman and High Court judge to murder and the trafficking of humans and drugs.
Maria Ressa is facing up to 6 years in jail and 7 more criminal charges on top of this one. But for the moment, she's out on bail and determined to appeal her conviction. And on Friday, I spoke to her in Manila about her fight for media freedom. I began by asking her if she thinks she can win and if she's afraid of what will happen if she doesn't.
It's a tough question that you ask, even though it's such a simple question, right? When faced with evidence that I shouldn't have hope, what do? I don't have any other choice but to follow the path that I'm on. And I feel the abuse of power firsthand. And every day the walls keep closing in. I said, if I have to go to jail, you bring me sheets, you bring me food, and please bring me a fan. It's like, what can you do? You just have to prepare yourself for a worst case scenario. That doesn't mean I'm not afraid, but it does mean I'm prepared.
How important is it that you do win?
Rule of law. How important? Well, number one, all these charges are fabricated. And, this particular case, this cyber libel, there are 2 huge leaps to even bring this case to court. And the government's own lawyers threw it out.
How many charges are there now against you?
I have 8 criminal charges, including the cyber libel. The first one there's been a verdict in it now. We will continue fighting it all the way to the Supreme Court if necessary. But, again, the implications for Filipinos are huge in order to just make me feel the government's power, in order to stifle press freedom.
Why are you being targeted, you in particular?
I think journalists are being targeted. We did 2 series that really earned the government's ire. The first is questioning exactly how many people have been killed in a very brutal drug war that began hours after President Duterte took office. So there's the brutal drug war. We're challenging impunity there. The series is called Impunity Series. And then the other one is propaganda war, right? How the government is using Facebook to manipulate public opinion. And finally, the third one was manufactured consensus. We looked at 26 fake accounts and how they influenced, manually counting this, up to 3 million other accounts, right? After that, I was attacked personally, pummeled, exponential attacks. And all I could do at that point was actually count how many attacks we were getting. I was getting an average of 90 hate messages per hour, not 19, but 90. It was unheard of. And it was new. It was a new weapon against journalists. And Rappler was attacked. We've weathered this. It's been 4 years. And, I really believe that Rappler, what we were forced to go through, proves to me that good values, the mission of journalism, is good for the business of journalism. The mission is more important today than ever.
How much public support do you think you have, and can that help you win this battle?
I don't know. I couldn't have chosen any other path when the government attacked us. I couldn't have negotiated behind the scenes to tone down coverage. I can't. By the time the government attacked me, I was already in my 50s. I knew who I was. I knew why we did what we did. We created Rappler from scratch. And so when the attacks came, we knew we were going to fight back, right? I actually took that propaganda war series and passed it through my board because I knew it would unleash attacks, because it exposed what the government was doing to manipulate its own people. But if we didn't do that, then our people would believe the lies even more than they already do, right? So I guess that's it. It's like the journey is the battle. I lost the verdict, but standing up against that, demanding someone put their signature on something that is blatantly unconstitutional.
If you go to jail, will Rappler keep on fighting?
Absolutely. And I think that's the difference. You know, I'm not alone.
One last question. Is there anything that we in Australia or people around the world can do to help you?
Please help us hold the line. I mean, look, we couldn't have done this without the generosity of strangers. You know, when the legal cases first started, there were months when we would have to spend an average of $40,000 US dollars a month. That's 2 million pesos a month, right? That's one way you can help us directly by contributing. If you just Google Rappler crowdfunding, it'll come to you. But beyond that, know that journalists all around the world are under attack. And part of this is because of the tech platforms that have now become the world's largest distributor of news. So support your local journalists. Every news group is in trouble today. Our business model has crumbled. Advertising is dead. And this very same platforms that have siphoned the advertising money is the platform that is being used to attack the credibility of the journalists who are trying to hold the line. So understand what's happening, understand the sacrifices of the journalists who are trying to hold the line.
A brave woman. And if you want to contribute to her legal defence, just Google Maria Ressa crowdfunding.